There's a reason I don't clean smokers' cars anymore, and this ashtray on wheels is pretty much it. Now, that being said, I am willing to make an exception on camera for you lot, so turn your smell-o-vision up and embrace the nicotine. So before we dive in, it's probably worth mentioning that despite the title implying I'd be breathing some life back into, the reality is it was actually more about sucking as much death out of as possible via a thorough vacuum, spot clean, wipe down and air freshen. The 16-year-old pug that was now likely with its final owner and only really worth its value in scrap would almost certainly be smoked in again, so a full-on nicotine removal via a wet vac, steam clean or ozone treatment would have been pretty pointless, plus, in my opinion, you can never truly remove it anyway. Still, regardless of how far I went, I thought the polluted old Peugeot was still worth filming, as I don't do a great deal of interior videos, so with all that being said, enjoy the stinky show. So the first port of call then is a thorough vacuum from back to front using both a crevice tool attachment and soft brush tool, but before we can do that I need to remove any loose bits and bobs and pull the seats forward. Vacuuming is a pretty laborious process as it is, but battling 16-year-old poor quality carpets and upholstery makes it even more of a ball ache. However, I've done it enough times now to know what's required, so while these shots might not necessarily illustrate it, a good 4 hours worth of non-stop back and forth action were administered. So with the majority of the vacuuming now complete, I'm going to go on to spot clean a few select areas of the upholstery with a diluted all-purpose cleaner and stiff bristle brush, as well as give the plastics and trim a deep clean with the same upholstery cleaner and a soft bristle brush. Now, while I'm used to being hindered by the sun when making exterior cleaning videos, battling it when filming an interior one isn't usually an issue. However, despite a new polarising filter, it still did its best to overexpose the subject matter I was attempting to transform, but you've seen the before shot, so shouldn't need to be convinced of how manky it actually was. So the final few stages for me at least then are a good interior glass clean and a fogging air freshener before closing the car up and grabbing some final aftershots. You could argue cleaning the inside of the windows is pretty pointless when the outsides of them are still dirty, but they represent quite a large surface area which can hold a lot of smelly residue, so properly wiping them down should help to cut through a fair amount of that and freshen things up a fair bit. So I'm not sure if the shots are meticulously stitched together here conveyed how much time, effort and energy was actually spent on this small interior, but I can assure you it was a decent amount as I was absolutely cream crackered that night. While I've done interior mould and dog hair videos before, I've never uploaded anything smoker related, so while this probably won't go down as my finest upload to date, I can at least now tick that box. Obviously I wasn't aiming for perfection here and realistically wouldn't have been able to achieve that anyway, so a straightforward ash removal and freshen up had to do, but it was still likely the best clean the interior had seen in a number of years, if not its entire life, so the car and its owner couldn't really complain. So let me know if you could smell the nicotine through your screen. Cheers for tuning in, of course, and I'll see you with something Nismo related soon.